So verse 1, he says, "And I saw in the right hand of him who sat on the throne a scroll written inside and on the back and sealed with 7 seals." I don't know if the word hand is in your scriptures, in your Bible, if you're not reading New King James, but in most it's italicized, the word hand. And I actually got a little tripped up by this at first, because my understanding is, and this is what I've always sort of held to, the Father is not going to be in a specific form when we get to heaven. We will see the Son, Jesus, man, and he will dwell with us, and we will recognize him as Jesus, fully God, fully man, in place. But the Father is light. The Father doesn't have a form, as much as I understand. And by the way, the reason it's italicized is because it doesn't have to be there. By the language, the original language, it could be, "And I saw in or on the right of the one who sat on the throne." Now, maybe there was a light hand. A hand wrote on the wall. So maybe he took the light had a hand. I don't know. I'm not going to get tripped up on it. But in the right hand is this scroll. And I was thinking about this. In the past, I don't watch them so much more anymore, but in the past I've enjoyed kung fu movies. Have you ever watched kung fu movies? I'm talking like the old Chinese, like really good kung fu movies where stuff could never happen like what they're doing, but is super cool, you know? And I was thinking of this picture of the strong guy having something in his hand and taunting the other guys to come and get it. You know what I mean? Like, come and get it. Whoever's holding it, if it's like the Father's holding the scroll, who's going to take that from him? Who's going to get that? If he doesn't want you to have that scroll, you don't have that scroll. You know what I'm saying? Like the Father's got the scroll. Nobody but the one who is worthy is getting that scroll. Who could take it from him? No one. So the Father has the scroll, right? It's in his hand. And what is this scroll? I kind of lean towards, remember I told you there's a whole bunch of things I'm going to say, I don't know. There are things I'm leaning towards. I've got an idea. This is how I see it. But to be dogmatic and be like, that's exactly what it is. I'll tell you what it for sure is. It is dictating the judgments that are going to happen on this world. But I believe, in my opinion, that it is the title deed to this world. I believe that it is the deed that got sealed up when we, who were given this world, passed it to Satan. And remember, there was a curse that was put upon this world, and I believe that that scroll contains the fullness of the curse that could only be remedied by the one who is worthy, who took the curse upon himself. And then that judgment comes as part of passing that scroll, the title deed that we forfeited and gave to Satan. And Satan owns it, but it's in the hands of the Father. He's actually kept it safe, and it is going to be passed to the one who is worthy, who can release us finally and forever from the curse. That's how I see it. I don't know. Do you agree with me? That's how I see it. So that's the scroll. It's written on the inside and on the back, and that kind of symbolizes in my mind an understanding that it's complete. And it's got 7 seals, which is a picture of completion, right? When this thing is opened up, when this thing is read, it's done. It's complete. There's nothing added. There's no more. It's written on the back and the front. It's all there. There's nothing left. And it's completion with the 7 seals, right? So that's kind of how I see it. And it's funny because we looked at this verse this morning in one of the Sunday school classes, Psalms chapter 2, verse 8. Ask of me. That's the Father speaking. And he says, and I will give you the nations for your inheritance. He's speaking to the Son. Ask of me, and I'll give it to you. It's already yours. And I'll give it to you, right? And so I think that's the event that we're about to see. When the Son finally comes and he goes, all right, Dad, give me the scroll. Give me the scroll. I took my church home. I'm ready. Let's have the scroll. Let's do this. Right? So that's where we're at. Either way, as Christ removes the seals, right? As Christ removes the seals, various dramatic events take place. The 7th seal introduces the 7 trumpet judgments, and that's Revelations 8, 1 through 2. And then when the 7 trumpets have blown, the great day of God's wrath is announced, ushering the vile 7 bowls of judgment that brings us to a climax where the wrath of God is totally unleashed. And what I kind of see here is the 7 seals release those 7 different events, and then he reads the front side, the inside, which would be the 7 trumpets, and then he reads the back side, which would be the 7 bowls, and then that thing's wrapped up. It's done. It's done.